havoc in several communities.
And I'm starting a C3 again. You see again, it's just a good Takasiana. I am man. I'm sure they did up of the year now. When you're parking your car, you did not tell me the NHS and show a fire car and a tight Cassian. We are starting here to 2 cars. And you have to go. You could have the above there session. Tell the TV station of the view. And I'm about 18 and enough in this. And you're starting here, Papa. I didn't teach you here. I'm not so about the funny man. I don't know about it's a 5 years yeah, or Hassi, and you're going to really paint them say, young funny I could probably be a case. He said, you'll be a deep woman into your car. Then a boy and you say, I heard you don't man. Because I say, Cassie, I want to make $200 in the other. You see, I yet a deep woman you could be. There's a shop cook in one but I'm in charge here, anybody be out. Be a generator. The hard of money is a buy. Then as I'm going to speak anything. Then the cost of the I will cut us some day. We are going to sanity. I'm going to say, now, I'm money here. So, what was the some of them are so very long time.
That report was filed by my colleague Ruben Ado. Away from that, 10-month-old Erica Bedu has been diagnosed with cleft lip and cleft palate, also known as orofacial cleft. Now, Erica's situation has deteriorated due to a parent's inability to raise an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis for her surgery and other expenses. My colleague Justice Apia has more.
Speaking to Pan-African News, mother of 10-month-old baby Monica Kwanzaa told us that Erica Bedu was diagnosed with deformity at birth, but due to financial difficulties, they were unable to get the situation corrected through surgery. She said the worsened situation has created feeding and speech problem for little Erica.
So we are in Makasim in the central region, Nananum Junction to be precise, where a parent gave birth to a child with a health condition known as cleft lip. We're going to be speaking to her to share with us her experiences. Follow me. Deformity then I'm here farm.
But your hospital, okay, I'm over by his Armenia of Wafubia. Mama Bena, Misha Mokine, Minion, my baby, sir. That would be a vet, maybe a little mobile. No, I'm a mobile, no beer. Sir. But you're going to hospital. No one, the man was by. You hope, Master, not Dr. Duman, a corners for baby 25.
About 2,500. How many years ago?
No one has just no one. Oh, yeah, 10 months. This year, what 10 months?
10 months. It's which was on cherry, sir. Okay, so that's about last year, oh baby. November, oh baby, sir. Okay.
It's gonna be being hot. Okay, them now, I am the beside the pay. The Antony and go with you. I will see years. And I'm going to miss a few baby. I mean, it's a damn into me, maybe I mean, every night I'm shedding. And go baby. Our friend is what there can be.
What the 10 months? Doctor from also victim.
Unfortunately, what's go to my Akiska? How what the way?
No, to me, did you find?
The mother of 6 who used to sell bedspread had to abandon her trade in order to cater for Erica. The situation, according to Monica Kwanzaa, has affected their means of livelihood. She is appealing to the general public for immediate assistance and support to help finance Erica's surgery.
Ama no person na eduma inshada nya ayi nti se bia me ebezi kra na oyeze mai ma mi ndo komezi manka sankasa
na night ma be na na we
otama mi se ne de na me ye ekwaji obi ni bedsheet ekwaji no ogo na nipa na da ama nti me ton wi a na me di niska bada akoma
okay
so no na me ya me change manka kanka ma me di se no so ayaya na ga nti mantum manchado ama mazo ndisi siade oyedin pa waya sitem ebedin po oyedin
na nti then na open from the general public
me yende esa to obi abetum ka bi ohu mobo na mabalance no wanyama na musumu ntumi nye bibi na me fenhwa mama nkafo na me yamobo me nyobia obebia
my say
mama we councils
okay ya pede ya boa we pede obo na mobile money na dia obetim da fa so ma na mobile money na ma no ya den
0545 19 31 53
sambo bio
0545 19 31 53.
Okay. Cleft lip and cleft palate is a group of conditions that includes cleft lip, cleft palate, and both together. A cleft lip contains an opening in the upper lip that may extend into the nose. The opening may be on the one side, both sides, or in the middle, whereas a cleft palate occurs when the roof of the mouth contains an opening into the nose. These disorders can result in feeding problems, speech problems, hearing problems, and frequent ear infections. Less than half the time, the condition is associated with other disorders. Cleft lip and cleft palate are the result of tissues of the face not joining properly during development. As such, they are a type of birth defect. The cause is unknown in most cases, but can be successfully treated with surgery.
Now, little Erica Bedu needs the help of the public. Anybody who has humanity at heart should jump to her aid. Still on the local front, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, has suspended some members for misconduct ahead of the parliamentary primaries slated for June 20, 2020. Briefing journalists at a presser, the party's General Secretary, John Boedu, explained reasons for the decision.
One candidate in the person of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo filed to contest in the 2020 MPP presidential candidate. The National Council resolved to acclaim the sole candidate. The National Council overwhelmingly accepted that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party and will soon announce a date for acclamation of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Constituency primaries in the Kwadaso in the Ashanti region have been suspended to further notice. They have issues with the album that did not finish addressing. So on 20th of June, Kwadaso constituency will not be part of it. Gushebugu constituency in the northern region has been suspended to further notice. Dorman Central constituency in the Bono region has been suspended to further notice. In Dorman constituency, Dorman Central constituency, very soon, after some program has been put in place, we will announce the details for Dorman Central constituency and what needs to be done. The conduct of some members claiming to be invoking cases on the party leadership, and in particular on members of the National Executive Committee, on allegations that their preferred candidates have been disqualified by NEC from contesting in the primary. We are completely appalled by such gross misconduct. Accordingly, the party is instructing the respective constituencies or constituency executives in the constituencies where these unfortunate incidents happen to immediately suspend all those involved in this awkward behavior while instituting appropriate disciplinary actions against them in line with Article 3 and 4 of the party's constitution. And this one we are going to enforce to the latter.
So on the local front, a member of the National Democratic Congress NDC communication team, Alhaji Naziru Mohammed, has said the country's peace and stability ahead of the upcoming general elections is hugely dependent on how the Electoral Commission EC conducts itself. His comments come on the back of the Electoral Commission's decision to go ahead with the compilation of the new voters register, despite calls on some stakeholders to rescind its decision. Mohammed Naziru was speaking on Pan-African Television's Good Morning Africa show.
Are done whimsically and capricious to gain certain advantage or to the advantage of one person. And you think we must sit and fold our arms because times have changed, our circumstances is reinforcing the positions we've taken all together. And you think we must keep quiet to it?
Your General Secretary said, and even on my show, reiterated that he doesn't trust the EC.
How can the EC be trusted?
Exactly. So
let us be very clear. The Germensa-led Electoral Commission can never be trusted.
Yeah, that's the point.
They never live up. So every one single promise they make to the people.
If somebody cannot be trusted, then it means you can't. Whatever it is that the person does, you will never like it, even if it's in the interest of the people, because you have already created a rigid mental set about the person's actions and inactions. Well, prior to the person becoming the EC chair and things like that, you will still continue to act in a manner
the concept of cause and effect. What caused us not to like?
So what do you want to do now?
Because she must go back and act with the laws. So and not be a judge and jury in the same matter,
in the same court.
In the same court.
Yeah.
She cannot be that. She cannot be MPP and be the Electoral Commission. She must disown one. And let us know if she's MPP and she wants to contest for MPP seat, she goes, and then we accept it. If she wants to be Electoral Commission, she must be Electoral Commission and act within the remit of the law.
Okay.
And that is what we are saying. Are we wrong to say that? We are going to emphasize, and I'm going to be the 10th or the 100th person to re-emphasize that this country's peace will be determined by how well Germensa conduct herself going into the 2020 election.
And what do you mean by conduct herself?
But to act within the remit of the law. And if she goes out of it, we have mandated by the Constitution to fight anybody that will arbitrate this Constitution. Yes.
If you just tune in, you're live on Pan-African News at 12 on our channel Pan-African Television, beaming signals from our studios on 48 Swanika Street here in Accra, Ghana, West Africa. Also streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. Going for a short breather, we return with the happenings in the world of local stories still.
Unnatural hair.
I am Mikesh Crown Salon. Now, keeping natural hair with dreadlocks, no idea when you make a boma meno. Now, you who so and I say maintenance and a lack of knowledge, no, and the air mekaika abrofo ana obruni alo ablofoi to pollute our natural hair with the harsh, dangerous chemicals. In some way, I am known in starting training, teaching, preaching the gospel according to maintaining natural hair with this lovely natural organic products. Now, se say no ye be school na ma zebra na be sua unsano ejuma for you to be one of the best locticians in the whole wide world. Ensano ejuma we ensano ejuma osua odi ko ba bia esan say to be a loctician no is a job the world need you today. Na natural hair ya de bia se say no e papa na amanfo agi atu no stigmatization, no bad names for dreadlocks and natural hair. Entino me boko ko say brana besua sa nimdie we efa dreadlocks, sisters locks, Nubian locks, Afro locks, cultivated locks, organic locks, micro locks, Caucasian locks, twist locks, real lock, hand twist, comb twist, flat twist. Sa no we nyina no brana besua usua wie na yehwe ohumodem bo a etimi ejiwo esan say Mikesh Training Academy no yewo branches bebre wo Ghana ha etimi employ ana say etimi esu employ outside the country.
If you want to learn all the techniques in natural hair and dreadlocks, please pick up a form in any of our branches. Also, for bulk purchases of our natural herbal products, please call 0542 126072 or 0277 454287.
Mikesh
is the king of dreadlocks.
You don't know Stonewall representing. I said dreadlock to the world. BOT. Your natural hair is the crown of your glory. Mikesh!
Why you pay?
Na jaw tikan da do dukrasi wa se wanti mensi
mate insist be sire why na me yikwa na treche wo o jari malaria din ya chinsa
eja kan akoma 2 years so onom dan proker herba mister osisi mbadi u say from oyire nso doctor ka chene say o malaria mo ani bi oni pedue mu a so onom dank antima x yare malaria ebe kokora obi wo honom a ne yem ye ne yanso a so onom dank gastro care herba mister oho beton dank phyto care herba mister koko ebe ye hu adwuma ma wapono waposo ohu tutu dank extra care herba mister obenya hoden ne watimi anante mekafo dank no nyina e de amamo
na ebenya dwe nya bi we
pharmacy shop ana herba shop also pe dank nura ye be ma obi
Pacho mo number ye say
0266593330
enroi oba pemfo oba o ma akora nufo ani akora woni mfie du mienu ntime no
FDA ahwehwe sa edwadie nkratoe mu agya atom se eye.
If you just join us, this is Pan African News at 12 on our channel Pan African Television. Also streaming live on Facebook at Pan African Television. To the rest of our local stories. Now, former Deputy Minister of Communications under the erstwhile John Dramani Mahama administration, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, has accused President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of ridiculing the Green Book that chronicled the NDC's achievement as an artist's impression. Now, the Ebura Asebu Kwamankese parliamentary hopeful revealed this at a presser held at the party's headquarters.
Commissioning of the Tamamoto Way interchange last week by His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, which the New Patriotic Party claimed to have financed and executed single-handedly. A former Deputy Minister of Communications under the erstwhile John Mahama administration, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, has taken a swipe at that, saying the president is deliberately misrepresenting the NDC's Green Book so that he will not be seen as the least performing leader of all Ghanaian leaders in the area of infrastructure or capital investment.
This will not be a far-fetched job. In view of the several times he has displayed a total lack of attention to detail and faced embarrassment when multiple plagiarized speeches have been thrust before him to read. We all recollect how the same cavalier approach to governance and his lack of attention to detail led to his approval of the most inflated contract in the history of Ghana, the American Ovation Deal, only for it to be withdrawn and for us to be told by sources with knowledge of the matter that he had been misled into granting executive approval for SIP. It is also entirely possible that he is fully apprised of the contents of the Green Book, but has chosen the path of falsehood insofar as it enables him to mislead fanatical supporters of the NPP or unsuspecting members of the Ghanaian public, and in the process hide his dubious reputation as the least performing of all Ghanaian leaders, at least in the area of infrastructure and capital investments. Either way, this would be most unbecoming of an occupant of the high office of president. That office is associated with certain basic requirements, which include conduct, thoroughness, and truthfulness. The president of the country must speak in ways that leave no room for doubt or the potential for him to be ridiculed or derided. For the avoidance of doubt, there is not a single project in the Green Book which does not exist on the ground today or for which clear context has not been provided regarding its status. Anybody interested in the truth will simply match what is in the Green Book to what exists on the ground. Such an exercise, ladies and gentlemen, will yield only one outcome, which is that the words shown in the book are as real as they come, and evidence of them are abundant.
The presser was also used to launch what it calls the Corruption Tracker Series, a platform that seeks to expose misappropriation and embezzlement of state funds by officials in the Akufo-Addo government of the party Sammy Gyamfi. Said the tracker will give Ghanaians evidence of failed promises under the Akufo-Addo government.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, corruption has undoubtedly been the bane of Ghana's development for a very long time, with the poor and vulnerable being at the worst end of this tanker. As a responsible opposition with the responsibility of keeping government on its toes, the NDC is today embarking on a corruption tracker series to track the status of the countless cases of corruption we have witnessed under the Akufo-Addo government in the last 3.5 years. Scandals which have occasioned huge financial losses to the state and robbed Ghanaians of the development they were promised in the year 2016. The NDC is deeply worried about the fact that resources that otherwise should have gone into developmental projects in order to uplift the poor are sadly going to line the pockets of several greedy and selfish officials of the Akufo-Addo government through grafts and sleaze.
Copies of the Green Book were made available to the media present.
Meanwhile, Major Derek Odro, Deputy Minister of Defense, has commended President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for steps taken to curtail the negative impact of COVID-19 on the ordinary Ghanaians. Now, the Deputy Minister who launched the Ghana Armed Forces and Zoom Lion disinfection exercise at Burma camp believes that Ghana is gradually winning the fight against COVID-19.
Deputy Minister for Defense, Major Derek Odro, at a ceremony to launch the disinfection of all military barracks here in Accra, has enumerated measures government has so far put in place in alleviating sufferings of Ghanaians and the spread of COVID-19 in the country, and advised that all persons must adhere to the health protocols.
And our CEC has put in place very strict and decisive measures to curtail the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. These include closure of our borders, restrictions and limitations on social gathering, improvement or construction of health facilities, provision of free food and water, subsidy of water and electricity bills, financial relief to SMEs, tax exemptions for health workers, provision of adequate PPEs for health institutions, provision of additional facilities for testing for the virus, fumigation of schools, cleaning and disinfection of markets, and the clearing of filth from drainages among others. These measures and the rapid implementation of contact tracing and mass testing for the virus have ensured that gradually our country is achieving positive results in the
Chief of Defense Staff Obed Buama Akwa, on behalf of the military personnel, was grateful to government for the disinfection exercise of the barracks and schools throughout the country and assured the military's readiness in conquering the global deadly virus.
In this regard, you continue to utilize the Level 2 hospital at the Elwak Stadium, put at the disposal of the Ghana Health Service our logistics chain management expertise, and use all assets by land, by air and sea to tackle the menace until victory is won. Honorable Deputy Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are honored to have all of you here on this special occasion. Today, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited will be commissioned to fumigate all barracks, offices, and places of worship, accommodation, and other facilities of the Ghana Armed Forces. I hereby warmly welcome you to Burma Camp and thank you all for taking time to be with us for this program. Once again, most welcome and thank you for coming.
Managing Director of Zoom Lion Ghana, Florence Labi, explained the importance of the exercise and assured the military to disinfect high schools, barracks, and offices simultaneously across all regions of Ghana.
Section of military installations, including schools, barracks, and offices. This exercise is aimed at disinfecting to rid all the facilities of bacteria and other disease-causing vectors. During our disinfection exercises, we use disinfectants that are chlorine-based, containing sodium hypochlorite. This is effective within 10 to 60 minutes of contact time and is widely available and recommended by the World Health Organization for surface disinfection as part of infection prevention. Chlorine-based solutions are safe and used for water treatment, for example, in swimming pools. This chlorine-based disinfectant is most effective in killing bacteria, fungi, and viruses, including influenza virus. The proposed solution has also been endorsed by our technical consultants from the Gucci Memorial Institute for Medical Research at the University of Ghana.
Colleague George Yosin Vina is still on the local front. The Ghana Statistical Services, GSS, in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the World Bank, is conducting a survey to track the socio-economic impact of COVID-19 on households and jobs. Now, the survey, dubbed Households and Jobs Tracker, begins today, Tuesday, June 9 to June 20, 2020.
The Households and Job Tracker will provide insight on how household lives and jobs are impacted by the pandemic. The Households and Jobs Tracker is one of the 3 surveys being conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service and development partners on socio-economic impact of the coronavirus disease. Topics that would be covered in the tracker include income losses, access to service, employment, coping strategies, among others. The other 2 surveys, which are Business Tracker and Local Economic Tracker, are being implemented. The Business Tracker seeks to identify and measure the impact of the coronavirus disease on small, medium, and large establishments operating in Ghana, profit and growth. Innovative actions being taken by businesses to mitigate the impact, and actions being undertaken to prepare for the post-coronavirus pandemic. The Local Economy Tracker will gather data on the preparedness and resilience of the local economies to withstand the shock brought about by the pandemic. In a statement, the government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobina Enim, noted that the result from the would inform policy directions in supporting the extremely poor and vulnerable households and safeguarding progress of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The Ghana Statistical Service assured the public that information provided by the individuals and households will not be disclosed to anybody or entity in any form.
Finally, on the local front, the National Association of Resident Doctors, the umbrella body of all doctors working in government health facilities, has issued a notice of strike effective Monday, June 15, 2020. Now, the association said the call to strike also includes doctors attending to COVID-19 patients and other emergencies.
National President of NAD, Dr. Liu Sokomba, said this is an official letter. The NAD president said the strike would be total regardless of current pandemic. Sokomba said the action had become necessary due to the failure of the government to redeem its pledges, especially in the areas of salary arrears and working condition. The letter read in part, I quote, "The strike shall therefore be total and indefinite. No service of any kind, be it emergency care at COVID-19 treatment center, shall be exempted, and members, including all resident doctors, medical officers below the rank of a principal medical officer, and house officers are expected to be part of the strike." While sympathizing with Nigerians and patients as a whole, the doctors said they could no longer condone government neglects. NAD said the plight of its members in state health facility was sometimes worse than those at the federal institutions.
That's all on the local front, but coming up in business, government allocate 50 million Ghana cedis to support startup businesses. Details after this breather. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying tuned. Now let's head straight into the world of business, where the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NIP, under the Ministry of Business Development, has commenced training of entrepreneurs in the entire 260 districts in the window 3 of the Presidential Business Support Program. Now, unlike the first and second window, applicants will have to apply through the metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in all the 16 regions of the country. Launching the program, the Minister of Business Development, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Awal Mohammed, said 100 entrepreneurs will be trained in each district, making it 260,000 entrepreneurs to receive training, and 5,000 entrepreneurs will be funded after the training. He said the Presidential Support Program is the initiative of the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to support entrepreneurs and also develop the entrepreneurs' ecosystem. 4,135 young Ghanaian entrepreneurs have received seed fund as part of the first and second Presidential Business Support Program. Beneficiaries received between 10,000 and 100,000 Ghana cedis related to their business proposition and need. The program, since its inception, has trained 19,000 entrepreneurs in the country. Speaking at the launch of the program, the Chief Executive Officer of NEIP, John Kuma, said 5,000 entrepreneurs will be selected after the training and receive funding ranging from 5,000 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis. Touching on previous beneficiaries, Dr. Kuma revealed that most of them are doing well with their businesses and repayment is very encouraging. The funding, which is a loan payable annually at a rate of 10%, is to support these entrepreneurs start and expand their businesses and create more jobs through the process. Now we have been joined via phone by the CEO of the NIP, in person of John Kuma Hayes, the Chief Executive Officer of this particular initiative. We want to find out more from him about this particular initiative bringing some relief to businesses in the country. Hello, sir, if you can hear me. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Sir, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Can you please tell us more about this initiative?
The third window of application for the NEP Presidential Business Support is what has just been launched.
Okay.
We have decentralized to the various district assemblies. So we are going to do an average of 100 per district, and we have 260 districts in Ghana. So the target is to be 26,000 by the end of the 31st July period that we have set. And after we have trained the 26,000, we are targeting to support up to 5,000 of them with funding from His Excellency the President. You know, the NEIP fund has $100 million, which we are supporting various startups and small businesses across the country. So in the past 2 years, we've done 19,000 training and funded 4,350. We have so far disbursed about 8 million cedis. This year, the target is to disburse about 50 million cedis after the training.
Okay.
So this is what we have done so far.
Now, sir, tell us who qualifies for this particular incentive, if I should put it.
Every Ghanaian startup or small business qualify. All you need to do is to go to your district assembly and apply and take part in the training. We have consultants and business consultants and trainers who come and offer the training and do the selection out of the training. So it will be based on your own performance, your own qualification before the selection will be done.
Okay, now clarify out on this particular one. Is this given, the money, I mean, is it given as a loan? And if yes, what is the requirement needed?
It's a loan, 10% interest rate. Once you are qualified and selected among the beneficiaries, you are required to fill a loan agreement. You have up to 2 years to be able to repay the facility.
So what are the criteria? What are we following?
The criteria is done at the training stage. It is the consultants who have been asked to select the jobs with potential for scale up. It has to be innovative. We have to know the potential of job creation, among other things.
Now, the period given for payment or payment back, if I should say, if it's lapsed and the person is not able to, you know, repay what is due him, what is the next action against that person? Is he or she going to face any liability?
What we do is that once we fund you, we insist on a 3 years mentoring engagement with you. So we believe that before the 3 years is over, we will be able to recover. Last year we did like 75% recovery. So because of the training and the further engagement with the beneficiaries, we have high repayment rate. And unless the circumstances is exceptional, many of them have been able to repay the facility. And when you repay, you are able to access for more funding. And so that is it.
I am glad you are telling us that particular one, but I want to know what you would do should someone fail to pay in the stipulated period. That's what I want to know.
Well, of course, government funds are not free money, and we will use every legal means necessary to recover those facilities. But we are not there yet. We encourage our startups to work with the funds that we give them, and to be able to even scale up beyond the support we are giving them.
All right. Well, the seminars conducted on business initiatives and all that, is it done annually or it comes maybe 2 years' time?
No, it's annually.
Annually.
Every year we do it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
All right, sir.
And that was the CEO of NEP, John Kuma, talking to us about the initiative to, give some relief to businesses springing up in the country to be able to financially stable their foundation and build up on them economically. Still on the business front, the Managing Director of Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, Kwame Ajiman-Bedu, is confirming that a total of 2.63 billion Ghana cedis legacy debt owed the utility company has been cleared. Now, the Minister of Energy, John Peter Amewu, recently told the media at a press briefing in Accra that the government had paid the full amount of electricity bills as of December last year and currently had a credit balance of 500 million Ghana cedis with the power distributor.
An annual payment of 2 billion Ghana cedis was made to the ECG from 2017 as part of programs to remain current on bills expected to be paid by the government. Taking his turn to address a Facebook Live section hosted by NPP loyal ladies, Mr. Ajiman said indeed the Akufo-Addo government had cleared all debt inherited from the previous administration by paying 2 billion Ghana cedis since assuming office. He stated that the ECG in the last 3.5 years had proved on its revenue collections and minimized its losses, which development had accounted for the registering of the profit margins. The ECG boss attributed the increase in revenue mobilization to the ECG Power app, which affords customers the luxury to purchase power at the comfort of their homes. Mr. Ajiman commended the government for assuming stable power supply in the country and added that this had helped to bring back some businesses on their feet. He mentioned the spate of illegal connection, power theft and delay in payment of bills as some of their challenges faced by the power company.
That's all from the world of business. Coming up is our story from our international partners, People's Dispatch. Do stay with us.
Everything has been installed. Yes. Okay. I will be fine, Dad.
Yeah, but this debate tonight.
You gotta keep long, go do the far job. Charlie High Tech.
She the lie bad go happen tonight. This are no fence.
Couldn't get in this time.
How come?
Security warehouse.
Smart choice. I guess you have some footage for me there.
Crystal clear picture. Pause. I think I know this man. He has a long history with robbery and rape. You are fortunate to have equipped your house with gadgets from Security Warehouse. Call it in. We'll begin the investigation from here.
Control, come over.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Now let's head straight to our story from our international partners, People's Dispatch. Now on June 6, Saturday, hundreds of people have protested in front of the United States Embassy in Ireland and at Dublin, demanding justice for George Floyd. Now the call for the mobilization was given by MASI, Movement of Asylum Seekers in Ireland, Migrants and Ethnic Minorities for Reproductive Justice, MERGE, Black Pride Ireland.
The protesters have also demanded to put an end to the direct provision, a system for housing asylum provision in Ireland deployed by the majority of the asylum seekers. Marches were also organized in Belfast and Derry in Northern Ireland in solidarity with the ongoing anti-racist protests in the United States and across the world. The people who had participated in the protest had taken precautions adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Communist Party of Ireland (CPI) and the Colony Youth Movement (CYM) have expressed solidarity with mobilization and participated in the demonstration in Dublin. Lucky Kambule, Movement of Asylum Seekers in Ireland (MASI), has accused that while returning after the demo on Saturday, he was abused with racist slurs. In response to this, he has said that, and I quote, "Well, I have a message for those who called me on my way back home from the Black Lives Matter, calling me all sorts of names, wishing I could rot in hell. I will always be proud of being born black and will keep fighting for the liberation of the people. I know I will annoy few, but I know most of you will always be by my side. That is all that matters. They have kept knees on our necks much too long. Enough is enough now. Remove that knee," unquote. George Floyd did not choose to die during this time. We have to honor his life now, not any time later. Direct provision must end now. Asylum seekers feel the pain of the knee on their necks. They can't breathe, sir. Remove that knee and set the captives free, he added. The demand to end the direct provisions is gaining strength in the Republic of Ireland these days. A petition named Abolish Direct Provisions Ireland has collected 39,364 signatures as of June 7, which stated that direct provision started in 1999 as a temporary 6-month means for housing asylum seekers, holds families in isolated areas with little or no access to basic services for years. Parents have reported spending a minimum of 3 years in deplorable conditions with whole families in one room, including children and individuals sleeping on mattresses. According to reports, Northern Ireland authorities have threatened the organizers with prosecution for defying restrictions by police and other authorities. Dublin Mayor also tried to discourage the mobilization by suggesting the organizers show their solidarity by signing an online book of condolence for George Floyd instead of organizing a protest demo. Protests have erupted across the United States demanding justice for 46-year-old African-American George Floyd, who was killed by police officers in Minneapolis on May 25. Progressive sections across the world also organizing marches in solidarity with anti-racist protests in the United States and demanding justice for George Floyd.
Dispatch forwarding. Credit to People's Dispatch for the international stories. Coming up is sports. Just stay with us.